to being revealed. They took the minds of our little girls and poisoned all. The sun illuminates the eyes behind these tinted lens. Deep within your mind is hidden gems. Take the time to dig. Always so conscious with no conscience, feel unconscious still. How can we budget trying to bond all these monthly bills? They taught us lies about the world that really wasn't real. Hidden agendas that have still yet to be revealed. They took the minds of our little girls and poisoned all. The sun illuminates the eyes behind these tinted lens. Deep within your mind is hidden gems. Take the time to dig. Always so conscious with no conscience, feel unconscious still. How can we budget trying to bond all these monthly bills? They taught us lies about the world that really wasn't real. Hidden agendas that have still yet to be revealed. They took the minds of our little girls and poisoned all.
What's good, people? Back with another video, back with a live stream. So you know it's about that time. Let you know what's on my mind. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos when you got time. In today's live stream, we're going to discuss the power in being underestimated. Excuse me. Now, the thing about being underestimated is, man, it ain't easy being underestimated because everybody wants somebody to believe in them. Everybody want, people want people to have faith in them. People want to be able to have the support, whether it be more support, whether it be monetary, whatever type of support. People want to have that support, and it don't feel good when people doubt you, especially when you feel like you one of them people that know what it is that you want to do, know what it is that you're going for, and also know what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? And it just don't apply to trying to achieve goals and stuff like that. Just in life in general, people don't like being underestimated. But it's power in being underestimated, man. Most people that accomplish real things and people that's the underdog, they started off as the underdog. They started off as being underestimated. Started off with nobody believing in them. And a lot of times the reason for that is because, I talked about it in the video, one of my earlier videos on this channel, is that you can't expect people to believe in you when they never believed in themselves. They never supported their own self. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it basically boiled down to, man. But it's so much power in being underestimated if you just take it and use it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're going throughout that journey, that'll show you the type of people that you have around you. And the first thing about the first benefit of power that you have in being underestimated is people never know how much you know. And you should never let people know how much you know. The reason why you don't never want to let people know how much you know is because by not letting people know how much you know, you get to find out people's true intentions. You know what I'm saying? Them people could think they know more than you. They might think that you unaware. And see, the thing about that is people gonna handle you however they think they can treat you. So they gonna handle you however they feel like. If they feel like you slow or you not hip to the game, or it's just like being scammers, salesmen to a certain point, like shady car salesmen and all that, and just the world in general, man, kind of operate like that. It's a dog eat dog world, so people gonna take advantage of whatever kind of little avenue that you allow them to take advantage of. And if you fall victim to it, then you just fall victim to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a way that you can find out people's true intentions, by never letting them know how much you know. I don't never really let people know how much I know. I'm a type of person, I ain't gonna do all it. You got these type of people that like to run their mouth, that like to tell all their business, tell everybody everything. Then you got other people like me. I just sit back and I just say stuff on a need to know basis. I might not even say nothing on the need to know basis. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type that I just like to sit back and play the cut and observe. You know, I'm always gonna be seen before I'm heard, and it's a reason for that. It's because I'm trying to peep the environment. I'm trying to see what's going on. I'm trying to understand what type of environment I'm dealing with, what type of people I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Jay say, you know what I'm saying, how to move in a room full of vultures, you know what I'm saying? You do that by not putting yourself out there and being all loud and proud, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you know, it's a stealth mission. If this was a military conquest, then you know I'm not the type to go in loud and proud and just throw grenades and just let everybody know that we on, you know what I'm saying, and get to shooting shit and blowing shit up. You know, I'm more of a stealth type of move and Metal Gear type thing, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's the best way to be, because in that way you never let people know how much you know, and you can always find out their true intention. So like I was saying, back to people gonna treat you however they feel like, and a lot of times what they do is end up showing people is that, you know, what it do for you is that it allow people, get some alert right here. Yeah, my stream tripping. It's all good though. We're gonna keep it going. So like I was saying, by never letting people know how much you know, that allow you to play the field and see how people gonna treat you. Let you see how people gonna act towards you. Let you see if somebody feel like you know, is not as bright as they think you are, they might handle you a certain way. They might try to treat you like you don't. They may try to run game on you, you know. And they go back to they might think that they know more than you. They may think that you unaware. But I want to talk about something called the Black Swan. I read this in a negotiating book, and I talk about this book more in another video that I do, where I talk about books that I recommend people read, and books that I feel like help change my life, or change my mentality for the better, But in this negotiation, in negotiation, in particular, it was a book about hostage negotiation, and it talked about this thing called a black swan, and the black swan are the small hidden things that have the power to change everything, if you know them, and somebody else may not be hip to them. So it's like your bargaining chip. It's like your ace in the hole. It's like your, it's like that secret weapon that you have that you keep in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it pretty much is. And so you can always use that to your advantage. You can always use that to your advantage. By people thinking you unaware, or thinking you not as smart as you are, just thinking that they can scam you and run game on you, you can always use that to reverse and flip that and use that to your advantage. So that's a benefit. You know what I'm saying? People sleeping on you, being slept on, that's you can use that to your benefit. And that's what it pretty much boiled down to. And you gonna always be able to see people true intentions, because they gonna treat you however they feel like they can treat you. Now, if you are already in the know and you know better, then you know what that do? That set you up to be in a better position, because you can use somebody else slick shit against them. That's the best part about it. You can use somebody ill intentions against them if you already aware of them. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, I don't think you should be just putting yourself in a situation where you constantly got to deal with sleaze ass people that, you got to watch your back around and all that shit, But if you got to be in that situation, just say for instance, if you at work and you dealing with a coworker and they underestimate you, they don't know, they don't feel like you know as much. They feel like they can trick you, run game on you. They feel like they can beat you out for a position y'all coming up for, just say, and they feel like they got you beat. And you can a lot of times you can pay attention to just, if you just allow people to talk. That's why I say don't be so boisterous about, the things that you know and the things that you want to do. Because if you allow other people, especially if you're around other people who like to be braggadocious and just run their motherfucking mouth all the time, if you're around them type of people, then they always gonna show themselves. And then when they getting to show themselves, you send back, you taking in that information and you processing, then you learn how to deal with it. So back to the example with the coworker. Now the coworker done slipped up with a Freudian slip. If you don't know what a Freudian slip is, it's when people say, it's like basically when people slip up and tell the truth by mistake. You know what I'm saying? Unknowingly, unwillingly, a lot of times too. And then by that time, you peep that. So that coworker done said some slip to you and done outed themselves, right? So now they tactics. They pretty much give you their tactics, and you can figure out how to navigate within that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing, especially just being when people try to underestimate you in the mind, man. When people think you slow, people think you dumb, like, especially me being from Alabama. When I was in LA, I used that to my advantage a lot. Just sit back and play the cut. People, they already thinking I'm slow. They already thinking I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? But I just sit back and I just let people think what they want to. You know what I'm saying? Allow people their free will to feel however they want to about you. And like I said, they always gonna show themselves. And so never let people know how much you know. If people feel like you slow or they not as bright as they think, hey man, let them continue to underestimate your smarts. Let them continue to underestimate your wittiness and your prowess, because like I said, that will help you find out their true intentions. And then another thing about that is being underestimated. It make it easier for you to exceed expectations. You know what I'm saying? It's much easier to exceed expectations when people underestimate you and what you're capable of. Just a simple, quick example with that. You got the bully, and the bully picking on the kid that seemed like he, is not capable of properly defending himself. Because that's why bullies do that. They seek out people they feel like weak. But the black swan that kid might have is that, he been taking boxing lessons, or his brother, his daddy or somebody, got him in some jujitsu classes or something, But the bully may feel like just because this kid, is quiet, he might be reading his comic books, may not be bothering people, and then he feel like he a weaker target. But then, that kid, he put his hands on that kid, and that kid gonna see expectation when he beat the living shit out of him because he was underestimated. And that's the main thing. You don't never want. That's why you never underestimate people. You don't want to underestimate people because you never know what somebody got up here, man. The mind is such a powerful weapon. You never know what people are capable of. So, and in that case, that kid done exceeded them expectations. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another power in being underestimated, or being an underdog. That it's much easier to exceed expectations. You know what I'm saying? It allow you to exceed expectations and do better than people are assuming. And a lot of times that'll leave you in a better predicament. You don't never want to oversell yourself. When you oversell yourself, you might raise somebody's expectations more than you even capable of reaching. But if you just play it cool, you know what I'm saying? Just play it low key, then, and allow them to underestimate you. If they underestimate you, then, you can exceed that belief, whatever belief they have about you. you know. And sometimes that don't always work out in your favor, because once people find out that you ain't dumb as they think you are, then they come out with a whole lot of other tactics and try a lot of other bullshit too. So you gotta be capable of peeping that, And so that's the second power when being underestimated, man. The next benefit of being underestimated is you can weed out, like I said, you can weed out who by your side. You can weed out who willing to help you. You can weed out just the right people who are in your life to benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Just say, for instance, if you working to achieve something, if people don't believe in you and you doing what it is that you do without the help of the people around you, people don't believe in you, and they're gonna be the case in most situations. When you start out, man, people just don't, especially the people closest to you. You're gonna usually get more support from the people that don't know you than you get support from the people that actually know you, actually deal with you on a regular basis. Because like I said, it could be jealousy, because they don't want to see you come up or do better. But then, it also show you if them people just want to benefit from you or not, because everybody want to be on the winning team, but don't want to help you. Don't nobody want to help you build a winning team. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't looking at no scouting reports. They ain't trying to do no trades. They ain't getting, money to open up no salary cap. But the minute the buzzer ring and, you got the championship ring, the confetti drop, everybody want to be a part of that, And if the people that underestimated you before and you turned them into believers, then who deserve to be around you. You know who deserve to celebrate with you. And the people that not, shit, you already know what to do with them. Get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? You can give your value to the people who really deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out your way to give value to people who don't deserve it. That's what we gotta get understood in life, man. Like, we gotta start giving ourselves away so freely to people that not really proving that they're deserving. And I ain't meaning that just strictly from the material aspect. I mean that from just overall in life in general, like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, everything. You got to be able to decipher and be able to be able to tell which people deserve, because what I like to do, I just like to live, and if God put it on my heart to fuck with you, then I'll fuck with you. If not, then I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm not gonna even go against my feelings. I'm not gonna even go against my intuition or none of that, because once you go against that, a lot of times, going against that wisdom is what had you end up in fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's another benefit that's another power that you have in being underestimated, man. You can weed out the people who are willing to help you and help you achieve and do what it is that you want to do. And in turn, you can get that value to people who really deserve it. So those are the powers in being underestimated, man. Number one, you never want to let people know how much you know. You want to use that power of underestimation to find out people's true intentions. Then the next power is that it help you. It's much easier to exceed expectations when you're being underestimated. And another thing that I skipped is that being underestimated help you build confidence in yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when people underestimate you and people doubt you, people don't believe in you, the more you do on your own, the more that you accomplish without them people, the better you feel about yourself. And you ain't doing it for their validation. You doing it to prove it to yourself. That's what you should be doing it for. Do it to prove it to yourself. That's why you can't allow how people feel about you, whether they underestimate you or not. You can't allow that to dictate how you go about living your life. At the same time, you can't allow that. You can't allow people. You can't. You're not. But you gotta not do it for that. You gotta do it for self validation. You know what I'm saying? Now, but you're using these powers of being underestimated in the process of doing these things that you want to do for your own self-validation. And the main lesson you need to learn from this is, don't you be underestimating motherfuckers. Never underestimate nobody, because the same things that I'm talking about, it's the same thing that they may know. They may feel the same way. I don't want to call it tactics or strategies, but it's just a part of just living life. It's something that you keep in your toolbox, of life tools. So you don't ever want to underestimate people neither. Because if you go out and you sleeping on the wrong person, whether it be, you sleeping on somebody's dream, or you sleeping on somebody close to you who you don't really believe in them, and then they pop off, and then, you cutting yourself out of that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you want to do it because you want to be around somebody, but, give the people the same respect that you want, And if you underestimate somebody, you talking crazy to somebody in the store just because they look like they just working and just got out of work. They may be tired. You feel like you can size somebody up, and then they beat your ass. Then, that's what happened when you underestimate people. So the main thing you need to learn from this is that the main power that you need to learn from being underestimated is to never underestimate nobody else. I don't underestimate nobody else in nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that may, lead to bigger situations like threats and all that. You know what I'm saying? Don't never underestimate nobody. Point blank, period. So that's the easiest thing you can do, is just take things as they come, and just be real, man. Just be real. Strive and try your best to be, as real as possible and as genuine and authentic as possible. Whatever being authentic is to you. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you can do is just do that. That's the easiest thing to do, is just be real, and be real with yourself. And once you be real with yourself, you can be real with everybody else. And another thing that I want to add in, now that I'm thinking about it, is that don't underestimate your damn self. Don't underestimate yourself. That's a thing that we deal with a lot too as people. And the thing about it is, a lot of times we underestimate ourselves because of the underestimation that we receive from other people. You know what I'm saying? You might grew up with family members telling you that you dumb, or you ain't gonna never be shit, or you ain't gonna never do this, you ain't gonna never do that. And that underestimation from them, that weighs on you, and you start viewing yourself in that light. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you may be seeking that validation from somebody else. That may be why you want people to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And the minute that you feel like people not believing in you, you feeling like people underestimating you, you feel like people treat you a certain way, or you may be viewed as the underdog, then that's when you start looking within and you start feeling like that, and you start underestimating yourself. So more importantly than anything is that, fuck whether somebody underestimates you or not, don't underestimate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Never underestimate yourself. And that's pretty much it, man. So just a quick recap, man. Never let people how much you know. Allow people to underestimate you. That's pretty much what that means. Allow people to underestimate you, because you can use that to your advantage. And by using that to your advantage, you find out people's true intentions. You know what I'm saying? Also, when people underestimate you, it make it easier for you to exceed expectations. You know what I'm saying? So I would say a lot of times it's better for people to underestimate you. It's better for people to not know what you're fully capable of, because when you show up and show the fuck out, then you get even more greater benefits from that. The next thing is that it builds confidence in yourself. It helps you build self-confidence when you're being underestimated, but you continue to believe in yourself. And once you accomplish great feats, not even a great feat, once you because it's about the little steps. It ain't about just the biggest things. It's about the small steps that you take. So every small accomplishment you take, You know, say for instance, if you're trying to get in shape, you know, it ain't about losing 100 pounds. It's about losing 1 pound first. And before it's about losing 1 pound, it's about losing a half a pound. You know what I'm saying? So when you're taking them steps, you know, people underestimate you, feel like you ain't gonna never, or you're gonna be whatever size you're gonna be forever, you know. And you not, people ain't willing to go to the gym with you, people ain't willing to work out with you. Well, you just stay focused on yourself. And, you know, with every workout you complete, your confidence gonna grow. Every cookie you decide not to eat, your confidence gonna grow. So that's what I mean about it helps you build confidence in yourself, you know. And you can weed it, and the next thing is you can weed out the people that's by your side, who willing to help you, who there just for you, just to benefit from it. And you can give your values to the people who really deserve it. Never underestimate nobody else, and most importantly, never underestimate yourself. So with that being said, that's today's live stream. It's the first live stream, and we gonna continue to do some more live streams, man. I ain't really used to this, cause to be honest, like, like I be trying to filter myself at the same time, but you know, and be honest and be real at the same time. So I'm still trying to find that little balance myself. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody who tuned in, who locked in, or whoever gonna watch this on a playback or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, give me a minute. Let me get right, man. Let me get in the mode. I ain't used to doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't used to doing that live thing like that just yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, I used to be real cool with being so public and, you know, doing a lot of social media things and all that. But I ain't gonna lie, since I made so many changes in my life, I be like really fuck people and trying to impress people and try to go and just put myself out like that. So I'm just not getting back used to doing this shit, man. So, you know, work with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Work with your boy. Zoo, good vibes. Shout out from South Cal. What's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in. I was out there in Southern California, man. I lived in LA for maybe like 6 or 7 years, man. I was out there working in the entertainment industry, man. I'll talk about that a little bit more. And to be honest, a lot of these experiences, a lot of things that I base these messages off of came from that whole experience too. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you tuning in, man. John Houston, I appreciate you. We just gonna keep it going, man. We're gonna keep going. Keep your live streams going. I ain't decided on the time. I just think 7 p.m. Central Standard Time probably work all right for me right now, because, you know, that's usually when I'm done working out and cleaning up and getting everything together, and getting settled in. So for now we're gonna do 7 p.m. My dude RM, what's good? Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Appreciate everybody, man. Trying to make it work, man. And if y'all got any topics or anything that y'all wanna discuss, you know, feel free to let me know. I'm most definitely interested in doing some call-in shows too, so we can, you know, do some interacting and just see things that we want to talk about, man. We just want to talk about life in general, you know. I don't really like to get into all the gossipy celebrity shit, you know. I feel like it's enough of that, you know. So I really just want to focus the content around, you know, not only my life but the life of others, you know, and anything that I feel like that we can just benefit from as humans in general. You know what I'm saying? And because one thing I want to let it be known is that I ain't perfect, you know, and I ain't trying to be perfect. I don't never want nobody. One main thing, I don't never want nobody who watch these videos to feel like I got it all figured out, or that I'm perfect, or that I'm some type of savior, or some type of, man, I'm just as flawed, as fucked up as anybody else, you know what I'm saying? But what make it different is that, when you're working towards trying to be better and try to do the right thing. So, that's what we striving for. You know what I'm saying? The pursuit of fame. That's what it stands for. One of the meanings is, if you see up at the top up here, is the first meaning is finding awareness, mentally evolving. And all these topics up here, there's all the acronyms, and that's all the things that we're gonna delve into on this channel, in the near future. So, but with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Look, stay on y'all grind. Don't let nobody stop you. You don't need validation from nobody but yourself. Hold up, we got a question. All right, why you think family and so-called friends underestimate, underappreciate people? I think that boiled down to, man, just when people, it's so crazy, man. When people see you have a certain belief in yourself, and I think it comes from it ain't so much you, it's really them projecting their feelings off on you, projecting they ill will, or it's like it's the same thing as people living vicariously through you. You know what I'm saying? But in the opposite direction, because hate and love is on the same spectrum. A lot of people that you think might hate you, they really love you, but they just don't know how to express it as love, because they may not even know how to receive love. So they express it as hate because that's all they receive. You know what I'm saying? So it may not necessarily even be about you in particular. It's more so about how they feel about themselves, and then they project them feelings off onto you. And then you got the other motherfuckers who really, really don't want to see you. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to feel appreciated. They want you to feel bad about yourself. They want you to underestimate yourself, because those just the negative people who just stuck in that mind state, and they ain't gonna never leave that type of mentality. And those the people right there. Those other people, they can, if they the first type of people I'm talking about, it may be a way for them to look at you and what you do in your life, and then they can take something from that and learn from it eventually. But the people who just hate you just for the fact of hating you, you know what I'm saying, ain't gonna be nothing you can do about them motherfuckers. So yeah, I wouldn't even, and to be honest, I wouldn't even try to change nobody. I wouldn't try to change now one of their mind. You know what I'm saying? You just focus on doing what it is, what you got to do. And that's why that go back to the point about finding out people's true intentions. You know what I'm saying? And not having, building that confidence in yourself. Long as you continue to believe in yourself and believe in whatever it is that you're doing, then it's gonna always work to your benefit. You just keep going. Don't even do it for the because you trying to make somebody believe in you who didn't believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. He said it's crazy how people can love and hate on you at the same time. Like I said, man, a lot of times it's a thin line between love and hate, man. Hey, that ain't just no song. That ain't just no movie. Like for real. That, you know what I'm saying? It's a very thin line between love and hate, man. And I keep that in mind. I can say something on this channel. I know for a fact that how the internet work. I can say something on this channel on one video that people are totally agree with, and they probably agree with everything I said before. But if I say one thing that they don't like, one thing they don't agree with, motherfuckers change like that. And I know that, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of the problem I have with being, just being in this internet space and all that, because I don't really be like to play all these back and forth games, and I know how fickle people can be. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying, like, I keep that in mind for myself and just know what's the reason I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They hated Muhammad Ali, Tupac, Jesus, until they all passed away. And, because the thing about that, man, you don't appreciate what you have till it's gone, man. You know what I'm saying? Because once that energy that you bring You ain't constantly bringing it around them for them to feel it and feel the hate that they get from it, because it forcing them to look within. Once that's gone, it give them a chance to actually sit back and reflect on what it is, because they not looking at it, with you being present. And that's just the way that it go, man. Just even myself as an artist, like most artists, and I'm talking about all types of artistry, not even just music, but I'm talking about like painters, sculptors, filmmakers, all forms of art. If you look at it, especially like in olden times, for lack of better words, most people don't get appreciated until they gone, man, because I guess they feel like your work is complete then, and then but it ain't nothing else. It ain't nothing there no more for them to hate on. You know what I'm saying? You'll be gone, and it ain't enough for you to hate on. So I think this stuff is spiritual. People just negative and haters in general. I think it's both. I think it's both, but it come from the spirit. For the people that watching, you ask, you think this stuff is spiritual, or are people just negative and haters in general? Let me take that both back. Let me think about it for a minute, 'cause I don't want to just be saying some shit and reacting too quick. It's definitely spiritual. I'll say that. I'll say it's definitely spiritual. But I think life and environmental factors and life experiences turn people into negative people and haters. But I don't believe that people are born. I ain't one of them people that really believe that people are just born negative. I feel like the world do play a big part in how we shaped as humans. You know what I'm saying? Because even if I just not even just thinking about other people. Talking about other people, just myself in general, I think back, even though I was on some, I done been on some, like on the wrong type of shit. Even though I'm been on the wrong things a lot in my life, like I wasn't never no hater, just hate on people and just a person that was just gonna be negative just for the hell of it. I ain't never really been one of them type of people. Once I think back on myself, now I have been negative, and I have done what some people may consider hateful things, but just as a person in general, stock factory issue, just I don't think I ain't never been like that, and I don't think most people are like that. I think our human experiences really shape, but it's definitely spiritual though. It's definitely spiritual. It's a spiritual warfare all day, every day, man. All day, every day, and not even just from the outside. It's within. You know what I'm saying? That's why recognizing the ego and recognizing that voice in your head is so important, because it'll talk to you, it'll tell you things, and then it'll be thinking, and you'll be thinking that it's you thinking, but it's not really you thinking, it's your ego thinking. What your ego is that voice inside of your head. Anytime you have a thought, anytime that a voice is in your head, that's your ego. But that's not you. And so many people get caught up in it, then they just they just become their ego, and recognizing my own ego is one of the best things that happen to you. Once you realize that voice in your head is not you, and you in control, and realize that you are not your body, that's the best thing that can ever happen to you, because then you can start speaking back to that voice. And it's weird, the ego can be your greatest enemy, and once you recognize it, you can start speaking back to your ego, using your ego, but your ego, that is the ego that you controlling, that's coming from a spiritual. It's like a whole, it sounds like an oxymoron, like a whole big clusterfuck, but it's hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around. But once you finally understand it, and it's it free you in a lot of aspects. But it's definitely spiritual, man. It's spiritual warfare all the time. That's why I don't really talk about religion, because religion and spirituality is not necessarily the same thing to me. But I feel like I feel like it's a lot of spirituality in religion. You know what I'm saying? And I that's why all the religions I studied, I pull from that. And and at the base of it all is all about spirituality, man, and just being the best person that you can be and treating people, properly, man. And how do you recognize that voice? You recognize it by knowing what it is. That's the easiest way I can say it, man. Anytime you think a thought, anytime you have anytime you hear that voice in your head, that's why you realize, like, a lot of times, if you notice, if people hear a recording of themselves and they be like, damn, I sound like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what my voice sound like. They don't recognize their own voice, as it's heard by other people, because they so used to the voice in their head, so they think that the voices is in their head is the way that they sound. But that's not necessarily true. So your ego is just the voice in your head. When I'm speaking about ego, I'm not talking about no feeling of being conceited or being overly exerting your dominance over certain things. That's not what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about ego. I'm speaking about that voice in your head that control your thoughts. So anytime you hear a voice in your head, that's what I mean, your ego. You know what I'm saying? And then when you hear a thought, when the thought pop into your mind, especially if it's a negative thought, the biggest thing you can do is practice speaking back to that. So anytime you can have a negative thought that pop into your head, you can come right back and be like, no, that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no evidence of that. I don't see no, that's just fear-based thinking. You thinking, why you thinking fear shit? I talk to my ego the way I talk to people. You know what I'm saying? So if I have, sometimes it just run wild and I just let it go, just, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just passing, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get your feelings caught into, the things that you have that come, the thoughts that you had that come from your ego. You don't want to get your feelings attached to it, because that's the way that you attract them certain things. So say for instance, if you have kind of like the angel and the devil on your shoulder, but it's all in your head though. It's all in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's all taking place in your head. It's like, if you have a negative thought, just say for instance, you have people just had the most random people. We be having the most, as humans, man. We just be thinking some crazy shit just for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You can just be riding, I don't know, just over a bridge or something. You be like, damn, what if my tire just go flat and then I just veer off the bridge and then, fall into the Alabama River. You know what I'm saying? Just like stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff like that be like ego. You know what I'm saying? And it don't be making no sense. But see, what you can do is, when you have a thought like that, you can speak right back to that thought in that same voice that's in your head and be like, man, that don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I have a thought like that. I'm like, man, that don't make no damn sense. Why are you trying to think like that for me? You know what I'm saying? It's like you combating your thoughts with your own. It's like you combating your own thoughts with thoughts. And that's, you got to do that, and you got to always be aware of it. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know if I'm making sense to y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, but man, hey man, that's just the way it go, man. I don't even know if it I'm trying my best to explain it, but it's hard to explain. But once you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's once you get it, you get it. That's why I stay away from drugs and make that voice loud. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they can control you. And a lot of times, if you ain't just recognized it yet, it'll just straight control you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just controlled by it, man. If anybody I was gonna put this in a video when I talk about the books that changed, that helped me change for the better and help me grow But one of those books, and probably the most important book, is a book by Eckhart Tolle, and he talked about the ego, man. It's called A New Earth. And the moment it clicked for me was, there's a chapter where he was talking about this crazy lady. Like one of the people that just sit outside and be talking to themselves out loud, and just just seem like they just talking out loud, but there's nobody there, like they talking to somebody, like they talking to themselves. And he was like, he observed this lady, walking, completing whatever task that she was doing, but she was just still talking out loud to herself, like she just talking to herself uncontrollably. You know what I'm saying? Then he was like, he walked into the bathroom, and he was like, damn, she said to herself out loud, man, I hope I don't never end up being like that lady, But in the book, he was like, at that point, that's when he realized he was doing the exact same thing that he was doing, which is thinking out loud. And from that, I started looking at people who talk, what I'm saying? Because if you ever see people who talk to themselves and you actually listen to them, they really having a conversation with themselves. Their ego done took over so much that they don't even realize that they saying it out of their mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the thoughts that popping. That's why it sounds so crazy. Like I was saying earlier, like we just had these crazy ass thoughts out of nowhere. It's like, that's why they sound crazy, because they really speaking those things out loud and they don't realize it. Their ego done took over them. And that's the moment that it really clicked for me, when I read that part in that book. So if ain't nobody read A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, man, I recommend that book. You know what I'm saying? But that, I'm trying my best to explain what I mean by it, but yeah, man, ain't nobody read that book, man. Read that book, man. That's a great read, man. And and once you finish reading it, read it again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's the best way I can put it. But it's definitely a spiritual thing, man. It's definitely a spiritual thing. And when you're talking about the drugs, and not only just drugs but alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Because alcohol is a thing that do it too, you know what I'm saying? But it work different for certain people, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna sit there and say, cause I smoke weed too from time to time, man, but it don't bother me in that way to where it ain't it ain't no thing where it bother me and affect my mental. A lot of people, and I think it's primarily because I don't do it, when I do smoke, I don't do it as a way to escape reality or escape any type of thing and then like that. I'm not doing it for no mental thing, you know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of times, even I don't allow that type of shit to control me. Like now, recently, I ain't been doing no smoking at all for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like not no thing that I'm not in control of. Everything in my life I'm in control of. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta always be like that. And once you get in control of your ego, you can control everything. Making everything else in control of your life is a lot easier. And the main thing about that is because once you get in control of your ego, you realize you don't have no control of anything. You know what I'm saying? The Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. I ain't read that, but I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. I ain't never read The Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. I'm gonna put that on my book list and I'm gonna check that out. So I appreciate that recommendation right there. I'm definitely gonna give it a read. And I'm gonna talk about some more books too, that I feel like that was great. It helped. And I talked about it earlier. One of them, about the art of negotiation, about the Black Swan, early in the stream. That was a great book I read. And a lot of these books I read a lot of books, man, a lot of self-help books when I was sleeping in my car. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I done been through some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Once you realize ain't what you go through, is what you grow through. It's, it all work out for the greater good. And once you realize that, man, hey, that's what make life beautiful and make you appreciate the things that you go through. That will help you appreciate being underappreciated, being underestimated. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, going through those periods where I was underestimated and and going through certain things, like I said, it helped build that confidence. They got the audio book on YouTube. Yeah. The thing I like audio books, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I listen to an audio book, but I can't really do that Kindle thing and all that. I will if I have to, and I can't get no paper. But it's just something about the paper. I just like to feel the pages turn. I like the smell of the book. You know what I'm saying? Just like, But if I can't get the audio, and then if I can get the audio book and get the book, I listen to the audio book and read it at the same time. But I really like holding a tangible book and actually reading it. I'm definitely gonna check that out though. Ego is the enemy. Yeah, reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental, and reading is fundamental. You can grow. There's so much you can learn from just reading. Real talk, all about what you grow through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With that being said, people, we've been on almost an hour. I think it was a pretty decent first live stream. Like I said, man, I'm trying to, just get used to this thing, And we're going to be back with more. For sure. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate everybody that dropped comments. R.M. as usual. Izu, good vibes. Appreciate you. John Houston, appreciate you. We gonna be back in here, man. For sure. I ain't decided on the next topic yet. I got a few different ones. Of course, we can get in here and talk about books. It's a lot of good topics, man. It's a few topics that I got that we gonna get into, man. But I ain't decided what the next one gonna be yet, man. We may do another live stream tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe we will do another live stream tomorrow. I tell you what, let's do tomorrow. We're gonna do techniques to break negative thoughts immediately. Since we talked about that a little bit, that's gonna be our live stream tomorrow. We're gonna talk about techniques to break negative thoughts immediately. That's gonna be tomorrow's live stream. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For y'all that don't know, I am from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And don't talk to me about that riverboat shit, because that shit kind of annoying. And nobody, let's see, yeah, man, we're gonna talk about techniques to break negative thoughts immediately. Yeah. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. I appreciate you constantly, showing the support. It's hard for me to, like I said, man, it's kind of hard for me to, it's hard for me to believe that people actually sit up here and listen to me and talk, because like I said, these messages don't come from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a vessel, man, and these messages ain't coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm just a flawed human, just like everybody else, man. You know what I'm saying? But the messages come from above, from a higher power. Yeah, power of positive thinking. For sure, we're gonna get into these books, man. But we're gonna close it out right there. Appreciate everybody tuning in. R.M., Izu, good vibes, John Houston, and anybody else who tuned in that didn't drop a comment. I appreciate you anyway. Everybody who watched this back on the live stream, if you get to this point. That being said, man, you already know. Stay on your grind. Don't let nobody stop you. You don't need validation from nobody but yourself. And tomorrow live stream, we're going to talk about techniques to break negative thoughts immediately. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we get into it, man. Man, y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay on y'all grind, man. I'm up out of here, man. Peace, love, gone.
Hoping the best of my today's gonna be the worst of my future. Anybody I forgave, wonder if the feel is mutual. Learning my way through this maze without a tutor. Helping people no sooner, you give an inch, take a ruler. Searching for sight in the midst of a dark night. And by the spirits of winners to finish in my sight.